Yo, what's happening guys? Speo here with the Voice of Reason, coming at you today with a tutorial similar to the one we did on the bleepy kind of bass, but this time around we'll be using Maelstrom. We'll have it sound just a little bit dirtier, and we'll also apply a little trick that will make the bass sound kind of suppressed but still very powerful. To demonstrate the sound, I'll now give you an exclusive preview to my upcoming electro track, so here goes. Okay, let's get to recreating the sound. First, we'll create a Maelstrom. On the Maelstrom, we'll bring down the polyphony to 1 and we'll bring up the portamento to a value of about 24. Now for oscillator A, we want a single sawtooth wave, and we'll bring that one down to octave 3. And for oscillator B, don't forget to activate it here, we'll select a square wave, a single square wave, and we'll bring that one up all the way to octave 7. Now on this square wave, we'll bring down the shift to -64. The shift knob is an awesome knob on the Maelstrom, and I recommend experimenting with it a lot. If I just quickly show you what it can do to a single sawtooth wave, you can see that this is really a knob worth twisting. Okay, but now let's move on with the tutorial. We can use mod A up here to create this kind of bleepy effect. So we'll select this ramp that goes like to halfway, and we'll select one shot, bring up the rate to about 98, and we'll bring down the pitch all the way to -64. There we go. Now we have to make sure that the second oscillator, the higher one, is louder than the first one, so the distortion acts more strongly on that one. So we'll bring up the volume on oscillator B to about 99. Okay, now we'll move on to creating a Scream 4 distortion unit. There it is. We'll set it to tape mode, we'll bring up the speed all the way, we'll bring down the compression to about 22, and we'll bring up the damage all the way. Sweet. Now we'll move on to creating a equalizer, and here's where the little trick comes in. We'll activate the first parameter, set it to about 400 Hz, and we'll bring the gain all the way down, and we'll bring the gain, the Q, down to about 3.0. So 3.0 is the Q. And on the second parameter, we'll set that one to about 900 Hz, we'll bring the gain all the way down too, and we'll set the Q to 3.5. There you go. Okay, what we've done now is we've scooped out all the mids, we've created this huge hole in the middle of the frequency spectrum, which now lets us only hear the lows and the highs. And this creates this kind of suppressed sound that I like very much because it still has this kind of power to it. Of course, you wouldn't normally choose such harsh settings for an equalizer. This equalizer is rather used as a creative effect rather than a studio effect or a mixing effect. So I do not recommend this kind of settings for conventional mixing. This is just to get this very suppressed kind of powerful sound. Okay, now we can move on to creating a unison just to create some stereo width. We'll bring the dry wet down to about 18. Or make that 20. And then we can move on to creating a reverb just to give it some space and some room, and we'll change the algorithm to room. We'll bring down the decay to about 50 something, we'll bring up the damp, and we'll bring down the dry wet to about 30, and then change on the EQ. We'll bring down the low gain all the way, and we'll bring up the frequency to about 400, and don't forget to enable the EQ up here. Can even give it some more volume. And there you go. That's basically your dirty, bleepy kind of high-pitched bass sound. What you can also do is you can just turn off the mod A and use it as a normal kind of lead. Which is a great sound too. But if you want the bleep, just turn on the mod. And there you go. Cool, I hope this tutorial was useful. If it was, drop a like, that would be much appreciated. And also subscribe for future tutorials, because there are lots and lots to come. My name's Speo, this was the Voice of Reason. I'll see you next time. Have a good one of whatever you're having.